Hello and welcome to Apex Racing TV and this Snail Racing Community event here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, and alongside me for this evening's racing is Sam Kume. And Sam, it's fantastic to be broadcasting another one of these races, the Snail community, of course, headed up by Anne Rabbits, one of the best communities in iRacing. It's fantastic to see how these guys have really formed a fantastic bond over the past few months. I got an interesting formats today, Masters and Legends around this very fun Roval here at Charlotte.
Yeah, good evening, and yes, definitely this is the second Snail Racing community event that we have broadcasted. The previous one was a bit more traditional. It was the Skip Barber at the new Lime Rock Park, although we did see the new damage model in action. Unfortunately, none of that here, but we certainly have an unusual mix of cars with the Mazda MX-5s and as well as the Legends.
Yeah, definitely. Cars which, the Mazdas, we've seen plenty of in the past, of course. The BSR MX-5 Pro Series we've broadcasted in not too long ago. Don't see too much of the Mazda since then. And of course, the Legends as well, which I believe we had the Scottish racing community. Apologies if I butchered that. But there was
the
some
Scottish sim racing community or league.
Yes, it was all about trials, wasn't it, for real life opportunities. I think Kevin S. Jr. ending up winning that. So I think that was the last time we saw the Legends car, and so we're not totally familiar with these machines on Apex Racing TV. However, we know that there's going to be a lot of fantastic action. Just a word on this circuit, Sam. A couple of modifications. I say one modification really, with that chicane near the end of the circuit, but this race is it's quite unusual for a Roval because it's kind of got elevation change. It's got many things that we associate with a road circuit. It's got proper, walls relatively close to the track. It's got different variants of corners, and I think it's one of the possibly the most popular Rovals in all of sim racing.
Yeah, I mean, of course, this I believe is basically included in the basic content, so it should be popular by that definition anyways. But this is the new version. It was only a few months ago, I think, they came up with this completely redone new chicane, new curbs, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And here we see this uphill going to the infield section, and where we have almost like a small oval but just in reverse really.
Yeah, exactly. So it really does. Should be playing with overtaking today. Multi-class? Not sure how that's going to work. Do we know how much faster the Legends are?
There was a slight mix-up with the session settings, so they should be in separate classes, but I mean, if Sancinelli's pace is any indication, then I mean the Legends should be able to mix it up quite nicely with these MX-5s.
Yeah, it could be quite good.
Check that. Bill Daly puts it on the pole right now.
In a Legends car, then.
Yes.
So that is that's a big time there. Maybe this was designed deliberately so that we would have all the cars racing one another. This could be fascinating because the Legends, they will be fast through the corners, I imagine, maybe under acceleration.
Certainly under acceleration because it is very light. This is the unrestricted non-rookie version, so it gets off the line very quickly, but I think with the suspension and handling on the MX-5 will be maybe easier to deal with, especially in the infield.
Yeah, will probably be the case, yes. So will be fascinating with the cars fast at different points potentially. We're currently in qualifying, of course, 15-minute qualifying session. This before a 45-minute race. Qualifying with 8 minutes remaining. So still plenty of time for these drivers to improve on the time that they've currently set. Of course, Bill Daly on pole position as we speak. And it looks as though we're going to have approximately 20 drivers out for this race, which is a really good number. We should see Bill Daly actually trying to improve on that lap time, just coming to the last chicane at the moment. A really fun final chicane. This for some sort of reason, it's just got a really good flow to it. You kind of go off of the oval and onto the road course or that little chicane. Can't improve on that time, Ken Daly. 9/10 of a second off his best time as he catches up to a whole heap of MX-5s who are facing in the direction that they wish they weren't.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure who that is in front of him. I believe that is Charles Kellyman. And Kellyman is currently improving, I believe. He's left that. Oh, and I hope he's improving his connection as well. Because that is a little bit blinking over there. But here you can really see the elevation changes that we have on the infield. And then we rejoin. Really cutting the corner there. And back on the banking.
So Wilquit has managed to go faster then. Honestly, these Mazdas and these Legends are so evenly matched. It is quite incredible. So Wilquit a Mazda, and then Daly and Sentinelli Legends, and then everyone else Mazdas, apart from Lyndall McMurphy, who's yet to put in a lap time. So seems as though, by this relatively small sample size, it has to be said, but based on this, if we were scientists, we would be saying, and we're far from that, we would be saying that the Legends is arguably the fastest car. Let's see if Bill Daly can back up my hypothesis as he about to approach this final chicane once again. And how can he go through here? Crosses the line, and it is a 35.65, so can't improve again.
Yeah, looking at least on the top speeds, there is very little difference between them. As we see, David Hayes cancelling his qualifying lap. We do still have a bit over 5 minutes remaining, so there is a chance to improve there. Who else do we have on the good laps? That is Dennis Sutter. He has currently set a couple of personal bests, so this might be an improvement on him. Currently sitting 11th. Although there is a little bit of traffic right in front of me, so hopefully that's not going to be a too big of an issue.
Ooh, takes a bit too much first curb, and he's sliding all about, and that car did not seem to be gripping at any points in that sequence of corners. Fortunately, got a wall on that particular part of the track. Of course, that's the new chicane that in real life they installed. iRacing have scanned this place, I believe, potentially even 4 times. There were a couple of different designs initially, and iRacing just had to keep on coming back. Finally managed to release it, and then they changed it again. Probably for the better, though. Much more overtaking spot now at that new chicane, and it's much less of a death trap, although I'm sure over the years we are going to go back to the 2018 circuit now that it's referred to plenty of times, because it is a proper madness through that chicane. Almost flat out it would be in these cars. It's really very tricky, but of course high curves and very close to the walls. Sean Randall, can he improve his time? 14th place at the moment with a 37.9. However, he can't improve either. And it's almost so the circuit's getting worse. I'm sure it's not. There's absolutely no reason why it should be getting worse, because we're at night, 24 degrees track temperature, 40 minutes past 10 in the evening. So track shouldn't be getting too much different. Now a nice slipstream actually for Sancinelli behind this MX-5.
Yeah, as long as he can actually make the pass before this last chicane, because it is really tight here, so going side by side is not gonna help him, and I think he has to back off just a little bit there. Really cutting the curb, and well, it works, but does he improve?
No, it was invalidated. I mean, the problem for him there was that, like I was saying before, the MX-5's got pretty good top-end speed, so the Legends car just couldn't get close enough going into the chicane. And then once we did get to the chicane, the brakes and the turning in point was so much better for the Legends car. Nearly managed to make it up. So, a reminder, first place Mazda, and then second and third Legends, everyone else Mazda. Looks like Lyndall McMurphy isn't going to take the start. I'm just looking at some of the other elements in this session. 1 fast repair, good decision, very good decision. Maybe could have even been more, but I think 1 will be enough. and they get disqualified if they reach 22 incidents. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. This place isn't much of a problem with it when it comes to incidents, because a bit like Bathurst, which many drivers will have familiar with now, of course, if you go off the circuit, it's like you're going to end up in a wall, and you're going to have much bigger issues than picking up a 4X, because you're going to have half your car missing, so it shouldn't become too much of an element in this one. 2 minutes to go in qualifying.
Yeah, I think on this track the main worry is just the chicane and the curbs, especially the last one, because they are so high that it will just launch your car off. And if you cut too much, I think the 1X incident is not your biggest worry there. You can just definitely break your suspension or just get thrown into a wall.
Will be fantastic to get the new damage model on these cars. Of course, currently on the F3 cars, as Sam was saying earlier on, we broadcast an F3 event for the Snail racing community not too long ago. In fact, that's apologies for Chris, just gone faster. Completely missed that one. 34.31, very nice.
The previous event, it was the Skip Barber. The Formula 3 was the VRA that we just recently broadcast.
But yeah, it was a nice event in that Skip Barber car, and yeah, the damage model really showing off around the high curve. So it would certainly be interesting around this circuit to see tyres and such flying about across this track. Massimo Cancellia currently trying to improve his time, currently down in 13th place, unlucky for some. Car number 3 only needs to improve. But if he can improve by a second, he can get up into the top 8. Sure, Massimo has got that potential in him. He's being overtaken by the 16 car currently. That is Nicholas Chance. He's trying to get past him. These two are actually alongside each other on the grid currently. Chance, I think, just backing out of that one. Will line himself up for a better lap time next time round. They are getting into the last 12 seconds, however, so they won't be able to cross the line. This will be their last attempt. I'm also looking at if Kevin Wilpert can also get another lap in, but to reach the 15 minutes, that is about it. So the drivers who have started the lap time can finish their lap time, but no more laps can be started at this point.
Yeah, currently looking at, there is not much improvement happening on the lap times. David Hall and how do I pronounce that? But then Verde has improved on the first sectors, but it seems like the track is just getting slower. Just curious about the weather settings. Do we have... It is very cold, so I don't think it's weather related. Maybe there's just dirt or something else happening with the track. But it does not seem like we are going to be improving the lap times on the final few seconds.
Maybe Kevin Wilcott leaking some oil out on the circuit just to make that position for him a little bit safer on pole position. Thomas Tucker Jr. Trying to put in a lap time. He's a little bit off the pace, about 10 seconds off the pace, so will most likely be lapped a couple of times, but good to see a good range of abilities out here. Of course, Anne Rabbit's YouTube channel, do check out Snail Racing. Be tracking her progress. I think currently trying the TCR car mainly, but also the Skip Barber, of course, taking part in the Sim Racers World Endurance Championship, which we also broadcast on Apex Racing TV. I believe that's next Sunday, actually. Recommend checking that one out. And racing for Meraki Racing alongside Andrew Hopley in that one. But no, do certainly check out her YouTube channel as Jeff Wills very slowly crossing the line. Don't know if he's going to improve on that lap time. Currently in 4th position. And I think pretty much everyone's back to the pits as we can advance to the race session as the pace car plonks onto the circuit. Fortunately, we're not. This isn't a standing start. This is going to be a rolling start, or is it? I'm not quite sure.
It's going to be rolling start, but look at how they've lined up on the grid.
That's
I don't think I've never seen that one before.
Sorry, we got to go away from the race for a moment here because this is unbelievable. This is a proper Le Mans start, isn't it? I'm expecting everyone to run over. Honestly, if anyone knew, all our 10 viewers at the moment, if anyone knew that this is how they lined up, I mean, let's. I think we've got to take the grid away from it. We'll go through the grid in a second because we've got to savor them pulling away. Sure there's going to be a crash off the start because they're all going to be able to go straight away. And I mean, how are they going to deal with this?
I'm not sure, but imagine this kind of grid with 60 cars.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they are starting to go. Not yet.
Yeah, we've got another 40 seconds or so for the drivers to get onto the grid. We've still got Kellyman and Chancelier, I assume, well, Massimo. If only Marco Babner was here. They are resident Italian to help us out.
Yeah, this is like watching a car meet or something.
Yeah. Okay, how many crashes are we expecting off the launcher? I mean, for the guys at the back, if they turn left, they're just going to turn straight into. So they've got to wait for the guy on their left to go, basically. So 86, Kevin Wilcott, has got to go first, and that's probably the best way to do this. Let's see how they can cope.
And the last drivers need to be careful to actually take the chicane and not go straight on the oval section.
Okay, they're waiting for each other. Oh, someone's got a little bit. Well, we've already had Kellyman, I think that was, moving ahead.
Yeah, that's Kellyman who is actually one place ahead. Oh, and they are...
Dear.
Oh.
Well, that went better than I thought, to be honest. They've kind of got away. We've got Burden Norrell, who's got ahead of Hall, has he? No, they've swapped back round. And we've also got Yimbo, although McMurphy didn't take the start, so that's all okay. Oh, well, we got through that. Now we can go through the grid. That was exciting. Hopefully the race can live up to that. We are in for a treat if we get 45 minutes of that action. Kevin Wilcott's on pole position, 0.3 of a second ahead of Bill Daly. Daly, of course, a Legends driver. Edgar Sanchonnet also in the Legends car. Then everyone else is in the MX-5s. Jeff Wills, David Hall, Corey Boudinot, Charles Kellyman, RJ Wettenword, David Roop, Dennis Molgart, Dennis Sather, Nicholas Chance, Massimo Chancelier, Annie Rabbits, Sean Raindle, Kevin Whalen, David Hiles, Mark Bradshaw, Thomas Tucker, Lyndall McMurphy, I don't think they take the start, so Douglas Hines, Dirk Vandermeer, and Anthony Yimbo. Yimbo has actually taken the start, to be fair, but those other three have not. So, Sam, we're about to get this one going. Off the start, do we think the Legends cars might be able to take the lead? Because we're going to go through that quite tight, twisty infield section. But I assume the Legends car is going to have an advantage. So, we could see a change for the lead quite quickly. It's going to be a lot of pressure on Kevin Wilcott.
Yeah, but also the Legends car will have the problem that we are starting on the banking, so I don't know if they have enough grip to really floor it. Whereas I bet the MX-5 with its heavier weight will be more stable.
We're about to find out then. Don't really know what to expect. Mazda versus Legends. I mean, it's everyone for themselves, safe to say, out here. The Porsche pace car will soon pull into the pits. The rest of the field just having to accelerate coming out of the chicane just to keep in touch with it. And we'll soon be underway. Of course, it'll be Wilcott's choice when to go, really, and wait till the green flag potentially, or can maybe even launch it before that, giving a little bit of a gap to the Porsche pace car, which now peels into these pits. And 45 minutes of racing in this Snail Racing community event is about to get underway. The green flag is out. And Wilkett keeps the lead initially. Not a fantastic start for Wills, I believe. Almost managed to get past Santinelli, but now having to hold off Budenor, who's got a very good start, already gaining a place. They navigate turn 1, a big slide, couple of big slides. The 34 car is into the wall, and that is Budenor. After a nice start, like I was saying, he smashed it right into the barrier at the first opportunity. But it's Wilkett leading, Daly in second place, Santinelli in third. Awful for Wills, who's managed to go off the circuit. He nearly spun at turn 1, and now he has spun at turn 2. And look at the gap that the top 3 have had. This is remarkable. 4 seconds separates third and fourth. I don't know what happened, but Charles Kellyman has gained 3 places. Roop has gained 4 places, and now we've got more incidents with Wettenworth dropping down the order, car number 2, and he's got some damage on that machine. What a crazy start that was.
Yeah, it was a great stop. Yeah, it was Santinelli and who was second driver in the yellow MX-5? Already forgot it. But they came really close together at the start, coming out of chicane, and that kind of bottled up the whole field there. And look at that, that's Bill Daly, right on the bumper of Wilkett. Let's just see how the pace matches up.
Oh, can't keep up here. But he'll be very good on the brakes. Yeah, it's pretty much what we expected then. Thomas Tucker, by the way, has gone back to the pits. Towed, I believe. Nice helicopter in the background. You might have to get out of here. You might want to take that helicopter, because he's going to lose a lot of time here. Ooh, that's slow.
Yeah, that's plenty of slowdowns there.
Aha.
And we also have Corey Borinot and, yeah, of course, Veterinary coming to the pits. And, well, they do have the fast repair, so if your car is damaged at this point, you kind of have to take it. And again, Legends cars really closing up on the infield section, but now we come to the oval section, and Wilkett is able to maybe run away with... No, is he?
Yeah,
yes,
it takes about half the straight though, doesn't it? But like you were saying earlier on, the Legends car is so light that under acceleration it's very handy. But loses about 4/10 in the second half of the straight, gains it all up again, and has some good exit. Can't really do anything with it because he was bottled up behind the MX-5. Does seem as though the Legends car is the way to go, because only in the second half of these couple of long, flat-out sections where the Mazda really has any kind of advantage. Everywhere else, the Legends car seems to be the faster machine. Essentially just waiting behind. So Kellyman up into 4th place. It'd be great to get a replay of Kellyman's first lap. He's currently under pressure from David Hall, who's managed to get back past David Roop in on this lap, I believe. Will's actually not doing too badly. He's up in 7th place still, which after that spin could have been a whole lot worse for him. And
yeah, currently he's only down 3 positions, so definitely anything still possible there. Let's see, does he have any steering damage? That looks perfectly fine. Rope going a little bit wide there on the apex.
Have you got much experience around this, Cirque? Have you done many laps around here?
Well, this is one of the newer tracks, and definitely no. I've done a few laps on the older one, especially with the Legends. That used to be the rookie car, but now I believe the rookie oval car is the... oh, what's the name of it?
The street stock?
Ah, street stock, yeah.
Yep. Managed to get myself to 2.2 KI rating in the street stock. Can't be bothered to buy another oval car. Massimo Chancelier spinning. Car number 3. So he was, well, he's now in 16th, but he was up in 12th. So that's a costly error from him. We've seen a few mistakes, I believe, from that position. You can also see the 15 car of Lyndon McMurphy. He did take the start in the end. I was ruling out McMurphy. Ooh, Yimbo having to turn out of that one. Almost had to make an extra chicane for himself before the chicane even started. McMurphy, did he Did he cut the chicane there, or did he just have a much better line? He's just absolutely waltzed his way past.
That was definitely some cutting, but I don't know, it was kind of close call whether or not you get a slowdown from that. But looking at him going, I think he got away with it somehow.
And he's moving straight onto the next MX-5 then. Looks to the outside, going to have a much better speed you'd expect. Tries to get the cut back, but has to hesitate, does McMurphy. Tries to get past Mark Bradshaw. Currently, Annie Rabbits is 11th, so up 3 places from her start. As McMurphy moves past and just about looks like he's going to be able to get it done. Yes, moves ahead. So from last position for McMurphy, gained a few places now.
Yeah, but right now he really needs to open up the gap because we are coming to the oval section and he just doesn't have the top line speed to really stay ahead or defend. But he has done just that. That is a 1 second gap already within few corners. As these guys are now losing a little bit more time by battling each other.
So yeah, the gap was 1.2 going onto the straight. You know what? He hasn't actually gained that much as Bradshaw. The gap's down to 9/10, having to defend all the while. Yimbo ran the outside. Oh, well, he's not having a whole lot of luck there, is he? Slows down and slows down some more. Overtaking around the outside there, Yimbo is finding is very tricky. Tried it a couple of times, and neither time it has worked. Dennis Morgart is into the pits. Early pit stop. Mega undercut, maybe. I don't know. The undercut's not going to be very prevalent in this race. No tyres will be taken by any of the drivers you'd expect because it takes too much time. The drivers are limited to... They're not limited with fuel, as far as I can see. So they surely could go potentially to the end of the race, I believe.
Yeah, I was surprised. It didn't seem like there was any damage on Dennis' car, so... Let's see how long is he actually in the pits.
Did we see Daly moving past Wilkett? Because Daly's now ahead of Wilkett, so it's
You're right, I think we missed this
Legends lead. If Wilkett wants to come back, he's kind of got to come back straight away. He's 1 second behind. Daly pulling away at the start of this straight. Now we'll lose some, but now that he's got track position, really going to be fancying his chances. Wilkett will get the gap down to about half a second by the time they break into the final chicane, but he's going to be nowhere near enough to go for an overtake, and this will be painful for the 86 car because, that's a very wide from the Legends, and this could be a lifeline for Wilkett. Moves to the inside, slightly better straight line speed, and it looked like Daly had got it done there. He'd pulled the gap, he got through the chicane, he was approaching the part of the circuit where the Legend car is so quick, and then he made a mistake, and it's allowed back the lead for the 86.
But he is not definitely giving it up. Going side by side here, I'm surprised how wide entry Bill Daly took into turn 1, which basically just gave away the position.
Let's come back again though, and we'll get the cutback potentially will get, as long as he's within about 7/10 going onto this next flat out section, he should be okay. He's within half a second, so I assume he's going to be able to pull ahead by the end of this straight. Got a Mazda to deal with. That will be Morgart, I assume. Has changed the lead potentially again. Wilkett looks to the inside. Does he have to get it done here? No. Can hesitate and maybe wait till the last chicane again. However, he's a little bit further behind, about 7/10 of a second. Will be very close, I think, from here as he goes on to the
Okay,
apron.
that's interesting line. I'm not sure if that was exactly intentional there. It definitely didn't help Wilkett at all. Oh, and hard cut.
So Daly, has he finally managed to break the resilience of Wilkett and has the opportunity now to perhaps pull away. 7/10 of a second now, the gap. He should be very good. Do this part. Oh, Wilkett with a massive slide.
Did he save it?
Oh dear.
No.
And overcorrection into the wall. Well, it's not a big hit at least, but it's a whole lot of time lost.
No, but something happened to Santinelli as well.
Oh wow, from second place. Oh, sympathy.
So this was right after Wilkett's spin. So did he just lose control trying to avoid Wilkett?
Oh, wow.
I think he just got his tires dirty running so wide trying to avoid spinning Wilkett and just didn't have the grip.
Yeah, an alternative line he had to take. Losing the car and doing a nice gymnastics move there. We've got about 6 months until the Olympics, but clearly training already, maybe going for the trials. Because that would certainly get him a very good score. David Roop, apologies for that camera by the way, that is not meant to be there. David Roop and David Hall. It's not confusing at all. Oh, that's a nice rhyme. 4th place these two are fighting for. Now that Santinelli is behind them and Hall is trying to, well, he gets to the inside, apron again, why not? Doesn't seem to be any rules against it. Oh, wow, I think his rival went into the pits. Well, that was a disaster waiting to happen. Fortunately, though, they had managed to do the cross previously.
And as well as sparks flying from underneath Hall's car as he really hardly cuts those chicanes.
Seems so you have to cut them a lot in order to get a slowdown.
Yeah, but you don't have to cut them a lot to get some suspension damage if your wheels are not exactly straight. And while we have a quiet moment, let's just give some screen time to Annie, who is organizing this event.
Up 7 places so far. And, well, she does have the power to disqualify the 6 drivers in front of her, so watch out for that one. Or maybe not disqualify, maybe that's a bit harsh, but, you know, 10-second stop-go penalty, something like that. Currently 35 seconds behind Bill Daly. That's the gap that needs to be made up. Daly now with a 14-second lead over the entire field. So, at the moment, no wheel-to-wheel battles, but we've got some relatively close cars to one another. Of course, with pit stops very much in full swing. Seems as though we could have a few drivers out of position at the moment. Could we go back to the first lap potentially? I really want to get a first lap replay on board with Charles Kellyman because he seemed to really profit from a lot of what happened in the opening lap.
Yes, we can do that. Let me find it. Here we go, and we are on board Kellyman as the pace car pulls in. He's taking the outside line, losing position there, but gets a good run. Manages to avoid the spinning car there.
Oh, loads of netcode between the 2 cars ahead.
Yeah. And just like that. Well, that was actually close, but managed to avoid it, and now he had basically just a clean track in front of him.
So I think that was Jeff Wills that he got past on that occasion, and then there was another car who went off into the wall. In fact, actually, I think it was Wills in the wall, and then 44, was it? Who he managed to get past? Yeah, David Roop, who he got past, I think, on that occasion. So, currently, well, we're nearly 20 minutes into the race. It's absolutely, or it's not 20 minutes, to be fair, it's about 15 minutes. But it's absolutely flown by so far. About a third of the way into this event, 45 minutes race for the Snail racing community. second Snail Race community event that we have broadcasted on Apex Racing TV. Here is David Roop. Where is the close drive to him? He's about 2 seconds behind Corey Boudinot, who of course crashed on the opening lap. Boudinot and Roop both pitting so far in this race. We expect everyone to pit at some point, but not entirely sure on that regard. Everyone does have a faster pair to use. Württemberg is he's being caught by Nicholas Chance. That's 0.3 of a second now between these two drivers.
Yeah, I believe Württemberg did take the fast repair, so he did lose some time there. So, but I think the car is now fine. And let's see his lap times. He is currently lapping faster than Chance, so I think the battle might actually be soon between Bradshaw and Württemberg.
Yeah, I think so. 40 seconds between Roop and Bradshaw. And Bradshaw about 4 seconds slower on that last lap than Württemberg. So I think, as you say, this battle very likely to kick off very soon. 1 second, the gap between the two of them. Bradshaw getting that car number 1. I don't know what he had to do in order to get car number 1. Maybe he just didn't have a number assigned, and iRacing just assigned it to him. That's probably the most likely scenario, unless he maybe bargained for that specific number on his car. Must be a very big privilege for him. And through turn 1, actually, managed to pull away a little bit from Württemberg and actually just set his fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I look at the iRatings and I don't think it's at least automatically assigned. Because let's see, who do we have with the highest rating? That might be Wilcott with 2.5 thousand iRating.
What iRating are you?
Me? I've been on a massive downhill, so I think it's around 2,200.
Right.
I mean, that's what you get when you drive the Le Mans series without enough practice.
Yes, you certainly get shown up a lot on that. You see, that's why I run the Porsche Cup Series, because you can literally run the exact same setup for every week of the season. And yeah, it's really
move here.
Oh, yeah.
Bradshaw runs wide.
Bradshaw was almost into the wall there and had to really get out of the throttle. And RG managed to get ahead up into 12th position now. However, bad news, 45 seconds to the next car. Has pitted though, has RG, so maybe could, he's lucky, could catch up later on if the driver ahead of him does have to pit again. Roop has pitted though already in front of him.
And now they actually have to start looking in the mirror with the lap traffic.
Yes.
Because let's see, it is Sancinelli on the yellow Legends right behind him. And then it should also be McMurphy very close by. Actually, McMurphy is almost 4 seconds behind.
McMurphy was the second fastest driver on track that last time round, despite being in 6th place.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he's actually getting help from these lap cars in front. Because, I mean, the car doesn't seem that aerodynamic, let's say. Sacinelli really taking a big risk on the overtake, and he is managed to avoid the wall, but does lose the position to McMurphy. And that looks like some damage as well.
Would not be surprising. He had to take all of the curve there and some. It will be great to get a replay of his onboard when he was trying to make that overtake. It was quite an ambitious move on the MX-5. Admittedly, maybe the MX-5 didn't leave him quite enough room. It wasn't completely clear. Here it is. This was it was a long way back. Yeah, Oh wow, he
No,
actually lost it by himself. I thought he was trying to go for the move, but nah.
So where did he actually lose the left side fender? Because he... I think he just hit the curb so hard the fender came off.
Yeah, it seems so. So, maybe go and compromise the ultimate speed of that car now. Annie Rabbits is into the pits. So if she's going to the pits, I assume everyone does have to come into the pits at some point. And this is, yeah, almost halfway into the race, so a pretty good time. Will come out in 11th place for Rabbits because she is about half a lap clear, even right now, of RG Betzenverd.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lap pit stop times, and with the MX-5 I wouldn't imagine that you actually need the tires, but with Legends it's well, it's not the most advanced car when it comes to the chassis, so it might actually be suffering from tire wear on one specific tire.
It'd be fantastic if you had to use like the old-fashioned way of removing tires, where you have to get like a proper hammer, like an axe, just to get out the nuts from the wheel and get back on your way. It would take a while, but would be fantastic to see. Animated pit crews, where are they, iRacing? Apologies, but yeah, it would be fantastic to get them. And he was a while in the pits.
Yeah,
Just
that
had
was
about 3 pit stops there.
59 seconds, so to me that seems like tires as well. And it certainly looks slippery enough to be new tires.
Of course, using the new tyre model are these MX-5s. Not the Legends though. They will probably be one of the later cars you'd have managed to get the new tyre model. But the MX-5 is one of the first. So Bredjaw's going to have a good chance potentially of getting past Rabbits right here, because Rabbits really struggling with the new tyres. Of course, yeah, this new tyre model really takes a while to warm them up to get them into an optimal range.
Yeah,
And when
certainly,
he's
and with this car you cannot really do the burnouts that easily, so you just have to give it a few laps, maybe 3 or 4. As Bradshaw, it's kind of not finding the optimal line through there, and that allows a chance to go side by side. As McMurphy coming into the pits for the first Legends cars to take the pit stop.
Yeah, whole lap ahead of these guys. Very slow on the outside for Chant there. Was looking as though he could gain a place. He's going to lose one instead. Rabbits leaving room, and well, Chant had to get quite a big slide just to avoid the rear corner of the 005 car. McMurphy stationary, currently stationary for about 16 seconds. Not even sure if you can change the tires on the. I guess you can.
Yeah, you can. On the ovals you would normally just take maybe right side tires. Especially on the shorter ovals, the front right tends to wear out a lot. But that was only 23-second pit stop, and I didn't see him go up on the jacks, so maybe he doesn't need the tires.
All of a sudden, everyone getting very close out there again. So Rabbits has, of course, been able to get back past Chant.
And that actually Chant now coming back.
Yep. Rabbits should have the slipstream advantage. Chant just has no straight line speed, it seems. We saw this on the last lap when he was forced up high. I don't know if maybe he was just way slower, way longer to go. Decent on the brakes, but has to get out of it in the end. Rabbits with a nice run. And almost being able to get past Mark Bradshaw. We've also got Roop versus Boudinot currently further up ahead. That's about half a lap ahead of these guys. That's the battle for 9th position. Feel that if Rabbits doesn't go for a move here, I think Chance is going to go for a move on Rabbits. But despite having a look, no opening appearing.
Yeah, I don't think it's the top speed that Bradshaw is missing. He seems to be just having to brake really early into corners. And that is kind of catching Rabbits and Chant out slightly.
Rabbits on the inside. Bradshaw can pretty much take a normal line through there. It's so important to get close to the inside wall on that occasion, just because it massively cuts off the corner potential for you, makes it a much tighter angle. This
we
time
also have a problem
is...
for San Rido.
Ooh.
I think that might just be a spin on the infield, at the end of the infield.
That's lost the place to Lyndon McMurphy. McMurphy, of course, already pitting. Oh, a good save.
And kept it on the tarmac as well.
Of course, almost using the route to the other layouts on this road course. You've got plenty of different Legends layouts which you can use. All of them very much kart circuits. I mean, I used to do karting, and I've certainly been on more expansive circuits than those. David Roop, he's still ahead of Boudinot then. So Boudinot was like catching him comfortably.
Yeah, they were really close. So I'm not sure what actually happened there. Maybe Bruno just had a slowdown. And Kevin Whale is currently coming to make his pit stop when we are just at the halfway point of the race.
Yeah, so a quick rundown for you. Bill Daly leading this race. Kevin Wilkett, 13 seconds behind. Wilkett actually closing that gap now a little bit. However, we think that the Legends car is a little bit faster than the MX-5. And Wilkett not doing enough at the moment. Close that 13-second gap after a spin earlier on. Charles Kellyman in third position, but only just ahead of David Hall. 4/10 of a second separate these two, and on that last lap, Hall was half a second faster. On this lap, he was 1.8 seconds faster.
Oh, we have an issue with
really
Bradshaw and Rabbits. I think that looks like coming together here on the... Is this on the... Yeah, that's on the back straight. So let's get the replay up. So I'm gonna guess that Bradshaw was early on the brakes. Oh, that is a very aggressive drive from Rabbit.
As you were saying, I think Bradshaw early on the brakes completely tricking Rabbits there. He had nowhere to go, got to the inside of the corner, but Bradshaw not knowing that she was there. And Rabbits drops back to 14th place. Good news for Nicholas Chant, he managed to get past the pair of them. Is now 5 seconds ahead.
Yeah, that was basically 2 free positions for him. And now he is free to chase Verde, who is currently... Oh, that is already 10 seconds ahead, but it seems like Chant is a little bit faster. As we see the difference just coming down, and there might also be an issue for Roop. No, that was just a slow, small off track, I think.
Do you know what our system defines as an off-track round this circuit? Because of course you've got that area that's a turn 4, or whatever you want to call it, where you go beyond the curb on the outside. Would that classify as an off-track?
I think it really depends on what Arisen classifies as off track. I mean, you saw there Roop took very generous inside cut back on the oval section and it didn't flash red for him, so seems like that is not an off track, but I think in some of these chicanes you can really easily get the penalty as well as here on the inside section, because I think where you see the blue line across the on the edges of the track, that kind of defines the limits. So even if you have like 1 meter area between that track and the wall, that is still perhaps considered off track, and that is going to be triggering the warnings.
Yeah, of course, 22 instance, these guys will get disqualified. Unfortunately, we don't have that data available. We have a rough idea, as we were saying, with the off-tracks, but that is our own system. It's not exactly the same as iRacing. David Hall going to the outside, dips back into the slipstream there. He's going to have a good opportunity going into the final chicane and going into lap 20 of this race.
Yeah, that looks like small damage on Kellyman's car, so it might be costing him just a little bit time. That is very wide there. Both guys really doing a good job to keep it under control.
Kellyman, of course, a driver in the BSR MX-5 Pro Series, so he's got plenty of experience in this machine, and I'm pretty sure they did visit Charlotte Road. I think I remember commentating on about at Charlotte Road, so should be have a setup available for this place, and he is doing very well at the moment. I say only about half a minute off the lead at the moment for these two drivers. They are by themselves, Santinelli, with all of his issues, of course, so far. About 17 seconds behind. Could maybe see McMurphy play a part in this. He's only 22 seconds behind, but of course has already pitted as McMurphy. Here is Hall, gets to the inside. Kellyman open the door for him. It should be pretty simple from this position. We're seeing going around the outside at the chicane be very tricky so far. And, well, outside the chicane, I don't think he's even going to be able to do that, because pulling ahead is the 75 car. And David Hall, for the first time in this race, is occupying a rostrum position.
Yeah, getting on 2 wheels there, but was able to get still a better exit than Kellyman and open up the gap to 7/10, which should be safe from at least attack on this lap time by. But no, that is Kellyman catching really quickly.
And that was an insane amount of curve there from David Hall at the last chicane. But again, got away with it. You really have to pretty much avoid the curve. You've got to be inside of the curve in order to get a slowdown around that part of the track, it seems. Chanchalier, is he out of the race? Doesn't seem like it, but he's about 3 laps down at the moment, is Massimo. Car number 3. Of course, if you want to see... Yeah, that seems
fine, because he is actually on the pits and not on the track right now. Who is our last man standing? That is Dennis Molgard Pedersen. But to be fair, good on him. I think we saw that he was not quite up to speed on the qualify, but his car looks pretty much just fine.
His lap times are pretty good, 38.1 that last time around, so only about 1.5 seconds slower than the race leaders, which is very competitive. So he had a 12-minute pit stop I'm looking at earlier on, so maybe had to do some required repairs, and you can see that bonnet still with some optional repairs to be fixed. Would be, again, going back to the Irish model, would be fantastic to just get a new bonnet on, rather than, Corey Boudinot is off the circuit. He has got away from that. If you look at the tracks, so he's made contact with the wall, but it's a tyre barrier there. And he might be okay. I don't know how that car's handling it. He is running offline quite a bit and being caught considerably by David Roop, who now puts it into the wall himself, and that was not a tyre barrier. That was a proper barrier. And you can see the damage now on his car.
Yeah, in fact, that was Boudinot just overtaking Roop about 2 minutes ago. And speaking of the damage model, I think even with the old one, You might take some optional repairs, but it doesn't always completely repair it. For example, during the 12 hours of Bathurst, we had perfectly repaired car which just wouldn't start.
Yeah.
I think we spent like 45 minutes repairing it. Then we figured out, okay, if we reverse out of the pit box, we can jumpstart it.
Did it work?
Yeah, we did that for the rest of the race. Oh, that is a hard hit. So it was... Who is that actually? No, it is Sen Rider Ambulan on both of them. And now they also have company in Bill Daly, our race leader, right behind them.
He's still being caught by Wilkett. I wonder if for Daly he's struggling with dealing with this traffic. Oh wow, that's off the circuits.
I think he might actually be struggling with the tires. Because you see how much understeer he has.
I wonder if he is gonna pit at all. We've still got the top 5 plus Reindl still to come into the pits in this race. And they must be leaving it right to the last moment. We weren't told that you had to pit. There's no fuel restrictions, so they should be able to do the whole race. Oh well, someone's just gone straight across the track there. Now it's a back marker. So yeah, the gap between Daly and Wilkett. Can we get the lap time comparison thing up? This is like the perfect time for it. Love that graphic.
Let me just
as
find the bottom.
Of course, provided by SDK Gaming. But yeah, the gap was at about 15 seconds at one point. It's down to 8.5 now.
Let's see, do I want the fancy version? Ah, here it is. So yeah, that is about 3 seconds that he has lost. And it actually seems to be accelerating right now. But that is definitely explained by the traffic that Daly is in right now. And where is Wilkett? Just as we got off Daly going a little bit wide there, but no major issue.
Certainly looks like Wilkett's got a lot more control over his car. As you were saying, Daly's tyres look absolutely spent. Or he's just maybe overdriving? Maybe a combination, not quite sure. But his lead is certainly under pressure. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, he should be alright. I mean, on that last lap he did lose 1.6 seconds, but on the most part it's been about three quarters of a second with the time that we've got left, 7 minutes to go. He should be okay.
Yeah, with
the Legends driver.
Yeah, with Daly the issue is that because he is slower on the straights compared to the cars that he has to be lapping, so he needs to be quite aggressive on the midfield section, which is really the only place where he can make those moves. Unless, of course, the guys are just giving him the room, as I think Bruno is just doing that.
Very generous. So what is this lap time for Bill Day? He had a bit less traffic. So he went from a 37.7 to a 37.9. Oh, that still wasn't a very good lap. Maybe got a bit of traffic at the start of the lap. And,
that is really...
Oh, well, this is a proper handful now. Someone says he's driving in the wet whilst everyone else is driving in the dry. 6.6 now, the gap. It went down by another 1.3 seconds. Because these tyres will delaminate eventually. That should be a while away. You have to get to 0% tyre wear in order for them to delaminate, at least with this old tyre model. No one's going into the pits, by the way, at the moment, so it seems as though you don't have to take a pit stop, but you can if you wish, if you want new tyres. On the infield on this lap, actually, Daly pulls away by 1.3 seconds, so that was much better for him.
Yeah, it's just the top 5 that hasn't done the pit stop yet. And of course the cars who are out of the race.
Runs it very close to the wall up here, does Daly. Yeah, he kind of, well, that time he ran it too close to the wall. He had to get out of the throttle in order to miss it.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he is struggling with the understeer. And then when he gets into the infield section, he kind of has to just use the throttle to keep it turning, and then you risk the massive oversteer and tank slappers.
Oh, that's wide as well. He just needs to slow it down at the moment, does Dale. He's got a big enough gap. This time at 38.3,
yeah, again, understeer
even
and
slower.
very close to the wall.
Oh, Wilkett just did a poor lap though, 38.2. He's been in the low 37s recently, so maybe he's got caught up in the traffic. If he'd done the lap times we know he's capable of, he would have taken a handsome chunk. The gap would have been down to 5 seconds, but well, maybe it is possible to bring it back. He's got 4 and a bit minutes to do so if he wants to win this Snail Racing Community event here at Charlotte's Road Course. Hall is still holding off Kellyman for 3rd place. Also got Chant and Vettenberg quite close to one another. I believe Chant has just got past. That is the 16 car up into 9th position. But certainly the battle amongst the top 4 drivers is are the closest battles out on circuit at this late stage.
Yeah, and while we were on board with Wilkett, it also looks like he is struggling with the tire wear. So we'll see. It really depends on who starts really give up the first. As this is another close battle that we have here with Hall and Kellerman. And that is that lap car right behind Kellerman. Yes, it is.
Kellyman's almost got an extra lease of life in this late part of the race because he was being hounded by Hall, who eventually got past him earlier on, but since then he seems to be the faster driver. And just looking at the relative, which of course you can check out via SDK Gaming with the live timing link, which is in the live chats and also in the description. Seems like Kellyman gains a lot of time in these flat out sections, and I don't think that's just the slipstream necessarily. I think that's a better or less damage on that car because he can gain about 0.3 of a second on each of those long flat out areas. So as long as he can stay close to this part, so he should be well in range for an overtake later on in the lap. Gap between the top 2 down to 4.5 seconds. Wilkett took 2 seconds out to the race leader on that last tour.
Yeah, he's really on the attack right now, and that is a clean track, so I think there's clean track for both of them for the rest of the race. So now it's just up to the speed, and you can already see them on the same straight. Daly being really aggressive with the curbs, taking huge risk there, but I think he kind of has to. He knows that he is now losing speed. And with minute and a half lap times, that might be enough for Wilkett to just catch up.
He will just get 2 more laps in, which is awful news for Bill Daly. He would have been home and dry if we only had 1 more lap to go. But we will get 2 more laps to oh, will we? Oh, it's going to be close, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be really close. I think we will.
Because usually there is a little bit of a buffer there that you need to pass the finish line.
On that last lap though, better time from Daly at 37.2. And keep that up, then 1 or 2 more laps. Wait, Matza, you'll win this race. Gap is 4.5 seconds still. Was only 7/10 faster was Wilkett. Of course, he'll prefer 1 more lap. It's 1 more lap to something to happen to the leading Legends car. He seems to be going much better now, much more within himself. Not making the same mistakes as we saw earlier on. So we've got 20 seconds to go. Sorry, not 20 seconds to go, apologies. We've got 30 seconds to go.
And the gap is same as it was last time by. Oh, that is really wide.
15 seconds to go. We might get a checker flag. We might have to watch out for the checker flag guy to see if what color flag he's waving. Is it white and black, or is it just white instead? I think it is white and black. Bill Daly approaches the line.
And he wins it.
He does win it. That is it. Congratulations to Bill Daly. Wins this Snail Racing Community event by 4 seconds in the end. A little bit of a
disaster for Kellyman.
Oh no, from 4th place. Oh, he's run out of fuel, has he? He's got Sancinelli catching him quick. And he's going to be overtaken by Sancinelli, unfortunately. His best bet is to beat McMurphy. Now he needs to just cut this chicane. Just cut the chicane. What are you doing? You need to cut the chicane.
Yeah, but you get the black flag and you might actually get disqualified for that. Because then you would be crossing the finish line.
But then, he's going so slow. He'll serve the slowdown anyway. Where is Sancinelli? It's the Legends car. You know what? He's actually going to be okay, Kellyman. Why listen to me? Why cut the chicane? Only an idiot would cut the chicane there.
Yeah, it wasn't slow down because of fuel.
Yeah. So 4th place for him. Sancinelli wasn't quite close enough. Streeting day for him, I think. However, he's still got a few donuts in him. Well, that's great to see from 57. Nice livery on that.
Yeah, that's the Legends oval there that he entered.
Of course, yeah. Rest of the drivers approaching the line at the moment. Got a couple more. We've got Annie Rabbits, actually, who's just approaching the line at the moment. Good to see her across. 11th place, so gained a few places later on. I think a couple of retirements for drivers. I think Raindle in there and David Roop as well, retiring later on. But Annie Rabbits there. Another very successful race. I'm sure everyone had a lot of fun. I certainly had a lot of fun. I'm sure Sam had a lot of fun. So, and you can see everyone racing along the infield now. Still no one has learnt how to write anything in the grass, which I'm very disappointed about. That you know, I want to learn that. I want to be the first guy to do that. But to, I don't know, write a proper Shakespeare quote in the grass and iRacing, that'd be pretty nifty as a celebration. Anyway, we can go through the final results, I think. Bill Daly wins 3.8 seconds ahead of Kevin Wilker. He would have probably had enough anyway, one more lap or not. So it was all right for the car number 4. Wilker in 2nd place, top of the Mazdas, at least. David Hall rounds out the podium. Charles Kellyman finishes in 4th, despite running out of fuel later on. Edgar Sancinelli in 5th. Lyndon McMurphy finished in 6th place. 1 lap down was Corey Boudinot. Also Kevin Wayden. Nicholas Chant, nice result for him in the end in 9th. And RJ Wittenberg finishing in 10th as lots of engines blow up.
It was actually both of the Legends cars.
Oh, was it? Okay. Yeah. They've expired very early there. Annie Rabbits, session organizer, head of Snail Racing herself, in 11th place. 2 laps down was Mark Bradshaw, and then the retirees were Sean Randall, Anthony Yimbo, David Roop, Dennis Mulgard Pedersen, Massimo Chanchalier, Jeff Wills, Dennis Sather, David Hiles, Thomas Tucker, and then Douglas Hines and Derek Vandermeer did not take the start. So far, oh no, what's going on? Got no interviews with any drivers as we speak. I mean, currently we're doing another broadcast. I think we will get some. Yeah, we're currently doing another broadcast as well. I'm tempted just to bring up Austin Knight and completely interrupt them very rudely. But I think that would probably be the worst thing to do in this situation. We're hoping to get an interview with Annie Rabbits, actually, who I just had some discussion with in Discord at the moment. And of course, if you're a driver listening back to this, especially if you're part of the Snail Racing community, you know, have a chat with us. You know, whenever you do complete any one of these events or any races hosted by Apex Racing TV, join our Discord. You know, we can send you the link, of course, and then you can have a chat with us. It's fascinating to get your narrative from the race, your reaction from the race, and yeah, a little bit of a background about you. So, really would be superb to have a talk. But I mean, in terms of the car choice today, Sam, it was a pretty insane in terms of this car choice. I mean, the Masters and the Legends car. Who would have thought that it could create such an incredible race? And I think it was such an incredible race because of this circuit as well. I think most circuits, maybe there'd be a little bit biased either way. However, this place it was about 50-50 between the two cars.
Yeah, it would have been nice to get few more legends here. As I was a bit distracted trying to communicate, get some drivers for the interviews. I think we should be getting some, hopefully. As we are watching the first lap on Annie's point of view.
Yeah, it was quite a stable opening part to the race for Annie. Very much kept the Mazda clean. Then got caught up in a late incident, which kind of derailed her career. I guess could have probably got a top 10. Would have definitely got a top 10 if it weren't for that. But still, a nice haul of points by the end of the day. If she wants to allocate points, of course, for this event. Went up 3 places actually from her start. And yeah, this was her opening lap, sitting behind the 16 car. This was Nicholas Chance, who spent much of the race with. It seems as though we are going to get an interview then. And we're going to get an interview with Edgar Sancinelli, who managed to finish today in 5th place. Edgar, congratulations. Yeah, looked like a fun race out there. I mean, have you got much experience in the Legends car, and how does it fit this Charlotte Motor Speedway circuit?
Hey everybody, just want to say it was a lot of fun, but as far as the Legends, it's my second time driving it on a road course. Drove it at Lime Rock and then driving it here. It actually turned out to be quite a bit of fun.
Definitely. So what were kind of the strengths of the Legends car compared to the MX-5?
Oh, I'd say the infield section is where you really could see the closing of the gap. But once you got on that back straight after the oval turn, after you turn onto the oval, that's when I could see the MX-5s walking away. But I'm not sure how much damage I had, so that could have been a factor.
Yeah, we saw you got caught up in a couple of collisions. Just take us through those situations from your perspective.
Well, I was trying to just survive the race and then try to make a move towards the end because I noticed at the top end I didn't really have anything to do. So when I was behind, I think Kevin in the MX-5 and Bill had gotten through, he got loose and I tried to go on the outside and got on the throttle a little too early. Rear end started to wiggle on me, and then I ended up doing a barrel roll off the wall.
Yeah, it was remarkable how you didn't need a pit stop for that. Were you tempted to take a pit stop because we saw many others come into the pits, but you decided to stay out?
Yeah, I kept on going over in my head whether I should come in or not or take a tow, but it seemed like the car was okay. I really noticed I was quite a few miles per hour off the pace on the back straight. Had a teammate, Lyndall McMurphy, running here as well, and I noticed he closed in, and he got around me when I also tried to get around RG, I think, in the second chicane, and I ended up spinning.
And in the last lap, Charles Kellyman was running out of fuel just in front of you. I mean, did you see the relative come down? Did you think that you'd be able to maybe catch and pass him?
Oh, I was hoping to, but and I just kept seeing the gap either get bigger, then I saw it get smaller. But I was also looking at Lyndall coming there behind me. He was catching me again, and I knew that with the damage I had, at least the car was steering okay, but it wasn't going to do anything if he caught me on the straight.
And in terms of the Snail racing community, I mean, how long have you been involved in these guys, and kind of explain how you got involved in the first place?
Well, I noticed when they started doing their videos, it's really something else that you don't normally see. You see guys doing iRacing videos and YouTube and streaming, but I really like where they're coming from and what they do, and they really build a nice sense of community. So it's a really nice community they have going here, and it really makes you want to get involved with what they're doing. these are really fun races. Of course you want to be competitive, but bless their heart for what they're doing. They're really nice people, and it's a great community. So of course, anytime I see them have a community race, I want to get involved.
Absolutely. And do you have any ideas of what would be a good community event in the future? Do you have any kind of mad ideas of any future card chat combinations which you could give a go for a race?
At this moment, I'm not quite sure. I mean, I know maybe you guys see me run in the Rick Tech Sports Car Series, Absolute Beginners, things like that. But we've done some interesting stuff in there. But as far as these guys, I'm not sure what they'd like to run. I mean, the first community race was the Skip Barber. This was fun here, the Legends and MX5s. It was a lot of fun, and I don't know, maybe something with touring cars. Maybe a Kia TCR battle, or maybe introducing the Mustang TCR and MX5 somewhere. But as far as tracks, I'm not quite sure. I have to look at it and maybe throw some ideas around, see what Larry and Annie want to do as well.
Definitely. Well, it's been fantastic to watch you out there today, Edgar. Is there anyone you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Oh, I just want to thank you guys for doing the broadcast. Excellent broadcast. And also the Snail Racing community, and hopefully Annie and Larry's pup gets better. And just want to thank my team as well, Frito Sport Sim Racing Team. It's a good team, and there's a lot of good people in this community here with Snail Racing. So look forward to the next event.
Awesome. Thanks for having a chat with us, Edgar, and hope to see you back soon on Apex Racing TV.
Thank you. Take care.
So next up, we'll talk to David Hall, who finished on the podium today. Congratulations, David. That looked hard fought. I mean, your battle with Charles Kellyman was really fantastic to watch.
Yeah, I picked up some damage earlier in the race. I blew the chicane and actually got caught up with Rudd, and I'd like to apologize to him because I'm pretty sure it ruined his race. That was hurting my straight line speed a little bit, so I think I had the same pace as Charles early. What I benefited from is he didn't take enough fuel, and that was why I was able to run him down. And he finally decided he wanted to get behind me, and he was drafting me the whole time. So, if he had not taken enough fuel, I would have not caught him.
Still a really good third place. Only half a minute off the leaders. You were kind of matching their lap times near the end. Do you have much experience in this MX5 car? Have you driven around this Charlotte Motor Speedway a whole lot?
I have more experience with the track than to do with the car. I mean, I'm mostly on the sports car side, run the Ferrari now, the 488, the GTE version. I haven't really been back in the MX for probably years, except for like a couple of special races. But I am familiar with the track, and I had actually intended on running the Legend, and I clicked the wrong button, so I had to kind of relearn a different car in the short practice we had.
Do you reckon the Legends car was the faster car around this circuit?
I think it kind of depended on the driver, because was Kevin was he in the MX, or was it Bill that was in an MX5?
Bill was in the Legends, and then Kevin was in the MX5.
Right. Well, Kevin was faster in an MX5 than the fastest practice time I had. I was at about a 135 point, but on average, it looked like the Legend was a little bit quicker. It has quite a bit bigger tires, and I don't know. For me, it feels more like a stock car, and I'm used to driving this track on a stock car. So it was a bit of a challenge to readjust back to the Mazda, the way it handles, the way to get it to turn. The weight transfer it's just not the same.
Yeah, definitely. So before we let you go, David, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Well, I definitely wouldn't mind plugging my podcast. If you guys want to go check out iRacers Lounge podcast, I'm one of the co-hosts on there with Mike Ellis, and I believe our guest next week is going to be Ashton Crowder, NASCAR Coca-Cola Series driver.
Awesome. We'll certainly give that a listen. Thanks for having a chat with us, David. Thanks for taking part in today's race, and hopefully we'll see you back soon on Apex Racing TV.
Thank you.
So, one last interview, I think, to do. Charles Kellyman is with us, fourth place driver. Charles, first up, we all had a heart attack on that last lap. Just take us through how close you were on fuel. When did you start spluttering?
Oh, do you know what? I think it was just at the first chicane. I knew about 5 or 6 laps ago that I was going to be close. Probably a little bit more than that actually. I tried to I wanted to let David Hall pass me so I can kind of draft him for a little bit, but then he started getting away because I was like not keeping up with him. And I thought, right, last 2 laps, just go for it. But yeah, that very last chicane, I had a choice really whether to just take the 1X and just straight line it, or just go around, and I decided to go around and managed to get over the line, luckily.
Yeah, definitely. So from the end of the race to right at the start of the race, I was mind-boggled when I saw drivers lining up on. I don't know if you even call it a grid, but were you expecting everyone to line up in that way?
I did not know what was going on at that point. In chat, everyone's asking each other questions. I thought I'll just follow the guy in front of me and see what happens. But yeah, it's the first time I've done a start like that. I knew it was going to be a rolling start, but I've never gridded like that. So that was a bit of a ball in from left field there. I didn't see that one coming.
Definitely. Yeah, hopefully we get that on a few more seconds. That was incredible to watch. And what about the track out there? We saw a lot of mistakes from drivers. How did you find how grippy was the circuit today?
Oh, do you know what? One of my absolute nightmares is driving at night. I hate driving at night. I know that the track did feel a bit grippier. I was trying. It's obviously the first time I've done this in this car. I was asking people to help me out with setups. I tried a couple of setups, didn't work for me. Car felt fine, but what I did notice is a lot of cars going off, and even David, who was in front of me for a while there, he hit the wall a couple of times, missed the chicane once. So a lot of people having problems. I was just really just trying to take it as easy and finish the race.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I personally, I despise the nights as well. Motegi at nights, what absolute worst thing in the world. But
Yeah.
anyway, and what events can we expect to see you in soon as well? Because of course, I believe you're still racing in the BSR MX5 Pro Series. Any other leagues you're taking part in?
I was doing the TCR League, the BSR TCR League. I've decided to give it a break. I mean, those guys are just phenomenal in that series. I try to watch as much as I can and learn as much as I can, but I'm hoping to get back in the TCR because I absolutely love that car, and it's built like a brick. Some I won't say, but it's built to last, isn't it? And can take a few knocks. And I mean, the MX-5 is not too bad when you compare that to the Skippy with the new damage model. You don't want to make any mistakes in that car, so the MX-5 is a little bit more forgiving. But yeah, I'm hoping to get back into the TCR pretty soon.
Definitely. And how did you get involved in this Snail racing community?
Well, initially I saw you know how you get suggestions come up on YouTube. Annie and Larry came up, and she was doing a series just to watch her progress, and every time she uploaded a video, I was there watching it, commenting, saying how well she's doing. Then she posted that she was doing that community race a short while ago. And I thought, yeah, I'll get involved in that. And yeah, I ended up winning that one miraculously. So yeah, I thought, yeah, let's have another go, see how I can get on in a different car. But yeah, it was good fun. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, thanks for having a chat.
She's doing a cracking job as well with her progress. I don't know if you've been watching it yourself, but she's done absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, I think tackling the TCR car at the moment, and yeah, certainly getting the upper hand on that one. It's been fantastic to talk to you, Charles.
Thank you
Is
very
there
much.
anyone you'd like to thank before you let you go?
Obviously, Annie and Larry for putting this on. All the people that have taken part, not just from the UK but from America as well. some of these guys I've only met for the first time tonight, and great community. So yeah, thank you, all of those.
Well, once
And
again, thanks.
yourselves, of course, Apex TV for showing it.
Well done. You're just giving yourself a whole lot of favoritism for the next time
Awesome,
we see
awesome.
Charles, which I hope is very, very soon.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.
So that was Charles Kellyman, finishing in 4th position today. Sam, yeah, really good event once again. The guys here at Snail Racing doing a superb job. Unusual combination once again, but it's worked really well. Just as at Lime Rock, we've had a really entertaining 45-minute race.
Yeah, definitely, and I think even if the classes were perhaps not intended to be the shared between the Legends and Mazda, I think that just made it even better. Like, there's no mistakes, just happy accidents with this.
Definitely. We, of course, on Apex Racing TV, we'll be back with more broadcasts in the future. What's going on at the moment elsewhere on the channel? They're broadcasting something. I don't know what it is. It's not IndyCar because that's tomorrow. Sorry, that's yesterday. Oh, they're doing the Formula 3.5 Championship, obviously. So, check out that. You'll probably be able to catch the end of that race. That is from Watkins Glen currently. Of course, also on the channel, nothing tomorrow, I believe. But then on Monday, we'll have round 2 of the World GT Championship. That'll be on the iRacing Esports Network, of course. We'll also have the Rick Motec the Vic Motec GT Challenge. That will be Monday evening for you Americans out there, Monday night for Europeans. And then we've also got the Sim Racers World GT Championship. That is round 1. That'll be starting on Wednesday, again on the iRacing Esports Network. And loads of other broadcasts as well. So, just subscribe to Apex Racing TV, subscribe to the iRacing Esports Network, and you can check out all our broadcasts. You can also check out our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram, and Twitter as well. But from me and from Sam, we'll say goodbye, and we'll see you next time.